Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Sitaram, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Kishan Jan, and I will be your MC for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Bapa, a Tish Maniar service. I'd like to start off today by asking my Mosi and Mosa, Tara and Jash, to come please speak.
Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Shanti Om. 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 May there be well-being in all. May there be peace in all. May there be fulfillment in all. May there be auspiciousness in all. May there be peace everywhere, north, south, east, west. And may there be peace within each one of us.
Jai Shri Krishna. Dad passed peacefully on February the 15th, 2023 at the age of 97. Before he became unresponsive, he left me a heartfelt video message while Tara and I were traveling through Gujarat, India. In the message, he told me how much he loved me and thanked me for everything I did for him. He also indicated that he was dying and he wasn't sure if he would ever see me again. We of course came back and saw him and talked with him, and he was unresponsive, but we think that he heard us. What can I say about Dad? Although Dad didn't talk much about India's independence and the freedom fights that occurred in India before we got independence, I know that Gandhi's philosophy influenced him significantly. Dad truly believed in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is one family. And he really believed that the whole world is one family. He treated everyone as a family member. He did not differentiate between his biological family or the community members. All were treated with great honor and love. He believed in bringing people together. And that is why Dad always believed in serving the community. I remember when I was about 3 or 4, about 3 or 4 years old, and Dad was a medical student during the day and worked at a clinic at night. We lived in an apartment complex called Ramwadi in Mumbai. At that time, there was a popular film out, and I don't remember what it was called or what it was about. But many people in our apartment building, in our floor, wanted to see it. So he went and he arranged for this film to be shown in our building. I remember people putting up sheets, white sheets from the ceiling to act as a screen, and us watching, sitting on the floor in the hallways. Within a year or two of our arrival in Winnipeg in 1964, I remember Dad holding several meetings with other people from India and for people of Indian origin to organize to help newcomers from India to settle and adjust to life in Winnipeg. He thought that we, the people that are already here, should be helping newcomers settle in. And of course, at every gathering that he had, we had to treat and feed our guests royally. Dad saw a need for Indians to come together, and so he was one of the founding members of the India Association of Manitoba, the Hindu Society of Manitoba, the Gujarati Cultural Society of Manitoba, and Manitoba Hindu Seniors, Inc. As my siblings and I were growing up, we have many memories of Dad having a quick dinner. He came home from work, we had a quick dinner in the evening, and then leaving for a meeting, and us waiting for him to return before we had dessert or we said goodnight. Sometimes this happened several times a week. I remember he would bring a family in need or someone he just met home for dinner. He made them a part of our family. I remember he met a young man from Poland that had recently arrived and had gotten lost around the Northgate Plaza Garden City area. Dad brought him to the house, fed him, reoriented him, and then drove him home. Dad also made lifelong friends, and he communicated with them fairly regularly. He has friends that he had made in primary school. There was a time a few years ago, he got a call from New York where an old friend of his was visiting with his son. This friend wanted to invite Dad to come there that evening for dinner in New York. I also remember that he had made friends with a couple from Toledo, Ohio at Expo 67 when we had gone to see in Montreal. And he must have made such an impression on this couple that just a few years later, this couple came up to Winnipeg to visit him and spent 5 days with us. Dad loved public speaking. In fact, some of his longtime friends are those he made when he took public speaking class within the first year after we were in Canada. And many of us will remember talks and speeches that he so eloquently articulated. Dad was a strong believer in multi-faith and interfaith. He believed in bringing people of different backgrounds together in understanding. He was a pillar of what was then called the International Center, serving on its board of directors, including its president for many years. He helped them form policies that were inclusive and respectful of diversity. He was an active member on the board of the Citizenship Council of Manitoba and as well as the United Nations of Winnipeg. Although he practiced Hinduism all his life, he took the training he received in his early life to become a Pandit. After his retirement, he embraced his duty as a priest. He performed pujas and Hindu weddings, and he performed these ceremonies in such a way that people understood. They understood them, they understood what to do, and they understood its significance, rather than just reciting some Sanskrit shlokas. People found this so endearing that he was invited across Canada to perform weddings and pujas. Dad felt it was his duty to serve, that he felt that was his calling. In the Gita, Lord Krishna says, "You have the right to work, but never to the fruit of the work. You should never engage in action for the sake of a reward, nor should you long for inaction. Perform work in this world, Arjun, as a man established within himself, without selfish attachments, and alike in success and defeat." Dad performed his Hindu rituals on a daily basis selflessly, and did not take any dakshina, any fees for it. He even paid his own way if he was doing a puja or a wedding outside of Winnipeg, including airfare. I remember that he paid his own way to Montreal when he was doing a puja, and he wouldn't take money from the hosts to pay for his airfare. And when people insisted on paying him, he donated that money to the temple. Dad became a notary public and offered to notarize documents, write wills, healthcare directives, and powers of attorneys for anyone that asked at no charge. In fact, one judge commented to him that his wills were better written than some of the ones that lawyers had produced in his court. Dad also helped many seniors file their income taxes each year, understanding that some of that language is hard to understand. In the Gita, it says, selfish action imprisons the world. Act selflessly without any thought to personal profit. Dad embodied this in everything he did. Her Royal Highness, Queen Elizabeth II, awarded Dad several medals for his service to the community and invited to dine with her. Dad was actively involved in several community organizations. He was an active member of Magic Circle 7, a group of magicians dedicated to perform magic and teaching youth how to perform magic tricks. He was an avid fan of making 8mm movies and won several awards for films that he directed. He was a passionate bridge player and took every opportunity to play. During the lockdown, during COVID, his assisted living place was locked down. They weren't allowed to go anywhere and leave their rooms, but a group of them managed to sneak into somebody's room to play bridge. I remember once my sister and my Aunt Tara auntie were visiting him, and they were there like 5-10 minutes, and he got a phone call, and he said, "Oh, I had to go bridge," and he left them in his room, So just to give you an idea of, so maybe I should have had a deck of cards for him here. He worked with the Winnipeg Police Department to help them interpret and advocate for people from India. And very recently, the police department made him an honorary police officer. Dad loved to entertain. He would have many get-togethers with his family, with his many friends throughout the year. He would also invite groups from many organizations he worked with to the cottage for a picnic or hosted parties at our house. He actually did love the cottage quite a bit, that he went there religiously, even when driving wasn't safe in the wintertime. So I found that Dad was a very clever man. His attention to detail and perfectionism was contagious. Everything he did carefully and with compassion. He helped many people and was a role model for the whole community. He would do anything for anyone without any expectations. And he did. Dad, thank you for being our father and thank you for caring for us and nurturing us to be the best that we can be. We are who we are because of you. In the Gita, it says, no one who does good work will ever come to a bad end, either here or in the world to come. We believe that Dad lived his life doing good work. Dad, may Lord Krishna embrace you and guide you to your new adventure. Dad, go with love, go in peace, be at peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Shri Krishna.
I'd like to call up my Tikafai and cousin Maya to come say a few words.
Hi, I'm Patrika. I'm the youngest of 5 children. My father was strong in body, in spirit, and commitment. He valued hard work, community, charity, and above all, family. He adored the time that he spent with his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and he couldn't wait until the next time we could meet. Seeing family brought him immense joy. He would have the biggest smile on his face that lit up the whole room when he would see us. Even just knowing that we were in the room while he napped on the couch, which happened often, brought him comfort and a feeling of love. As we went through some of Dad's belongings this past week, we came across some of the many scientific publications and degrees that he earned throughout his career. It is impressive, to say the least. We also found a treasure trove of some of the many certificates, awards, and letters of recognition that he received since coming to Canada, from volunteering as a judge at the science symposiums in Winnipeg for 40 years, to the Lieutenant Governor's Award for Community Service and his medals from the Queen. His selflessness and passion for helping others was his driving force. He helped others so genuinely and without judgment. He truly lived the values that he held close to his heart. Dad strived for the betterment of humankind. I am most proud of Dad for his work with the interfaith community, where he was able to learn and teach others about how our differences in beliefs all lead to the same place in the end. In a local magazine, he was quoted as saying, "Belief is not fact, it is your understanding. When water falls, it goes to the ocean. Any God we worship, it goes to the same God." Dad received the Lieutenant Governor's Award for the advancement of interreligious understanding for his work. One of my fondest memories of Dad was his involvement with the Magic Circle 7 and his Magic Club. He would host huge parties at our house every Christmas, where we would welcome his Magic Club friends and their families. There would be a magic show, which at the age of 7 could have been Vegas worthy, and then Santa would show up with gifts for everyone at the end of the night. We had so much fun and made so many memories at these parties. As a very wise, loving, and trusted family member reminded me, Dad did his hard work for us, so it's up to us to carry even an ounce of what we have learned from him forward. We will remember how he made us feel, how he allowed us to grow, how he allowed us to make mistakes, Now we should be able to do that for someone else and pass it on. Compassion, forgiveness, honesty, acceptance, and love is the legacy that Dad has left for all of us. Thank you, Dad.
Hi, I'm Maya. Yes, my Dada was a great public speaker. So pressure's on, but I hope he's listening. How do you summarize such a wonderful person in such a short time? My Dada was a man with so many accomplishments. As we know, he was a leader, a trailblazer, a pillar of his community. But to me, he was my Dada, my grandfather, and a piece of my family's heart. I remember going to my Dada and Dadi's house so often when I was younger. We would have sleepovers, and Liam and I would be so excited to basically have no rules. My Dada was always kind and gentle and so loving. He would hug and kiss Liam and I all the time. My grandparents truly meant the world to me. When my grandparents lived on Viola Street, I remember so many times sitting in the red nooks in their kitchen, and he would drink his buttermilk and have a spoon of honey while my daddy would make us breakfast. Those are some times that I will never forget. Sometimes he would let me sit on his shoulders while he played the harmonium. And I wasn't going to say this part, but he would let me hit his top of his head like a tabla. He was so sweet. He would drive us to go swimming and show me magic tricks and take us to the cottage. He would constantly remind me that his mother had the same beauty mark on my face as she had, just in case I forgot from the last time he told me. His cottage was truly his happy place. His garage was full of treasures, and in the summer he would tinker around in the garage or around the cottage while I would pick flowers or catch frogs. He would try to fix things and repair things to the best of his ability, and then my dad, Renee, would have to come and sneak and redo the job without him knowing. His neighbors, Andre and Robert, would often help him out, especially when Dad, at age of 70, was on the roof trying to repair the shingles. Everyone loved my grandfather. He helped everyone and would never turn someone away. He was always on the go, so giving of himself, and would never, ever hesitate to help someone in need. I can't see. He was a man of integrity and had a very high moral compass. The world was so lucky to have him in it, and he will be missed, and his legacy will never be forgotten. I love you, Tata, and I know your memories will live on and on.
I would like to call up a close friend of Bapa's, Shashi Seshia, to come say a few words as well.
Namaste. I can visualize the very quiet smile that characterized Atish Bhai as we recounted some of the episodes that you have done. That so many of us are here today is a reflection of the love and affection that he inspired in all of us through his many selfless actions to the community. Not just the Hindu community, but the Manitoba community at large. He served through many roles as a medical microbiologist, as a notary public, as a strong advocate for community causes, as a voluntary priest in the Hindu temple from its very inception, and finally, even as an honorary police officer. In 2014, Mrs. Judy Vasilisa Lees described him as an unsung hero. But Atish Bhai didn't want anybody to sing about him. And when awards and recognition came, he accepted them with his characteristic humility. He was a strong believer, as Jayesh has said, that all paths lead to the Almighty, and worked to promote interfaith understanding, for which he received an award that Manjuloda has also received. In recent years, I was very blessed to have been able to spend some time with him. As we all know, he was very learned in our scriptures, and I picked his brains about the Bhagavad Gita, which I was trying to understand. He said that the most important message in the Bhagavad Gita, and I quote, and I think Jayesh has mentioned that, uh, action should be selfless and never motivated by expectations of recognition and reward. This message is reinforced in different chapters and verses of the Bhagavad Gita, a spiritual text that was written at least 2200 years ago. And I quote from chapter 3, verse 19. Therefore, perform without attachment all actions, for by doing so, thou wilt reach the Supreme. This message, together with his quiet devotion to the Almighty, characterized his entire life. Atish Bhai is now one with the Almighty, where he rejoins his beloved wife of 66 years, Virbala, who too possessed qualities beloved of the Lord. They may have shed their physical bodies in this world, but I know that their Atman, their soul, will both guide and inspire not only their families, but all those of us who were blessed to know them and know of them. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
So now I'll have Pandit Venkat come and talk about the significance of the cremation ceremony.
Say a simple prayer. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. It's a few words about our cremation rites, which are called in Hindu scriptures as Antyeshti, the final wish of the soul. The soul wants to ascend from this world to a higher world, and this ceremony is facilitated by the children for him to ascend to the higher worlds. The Antyeshti is also called as Naramedham. Naramedham means it is a fire ritual where the body itself is offered into the fire as a sacrifice. It is also called Pitrumedham. Pitrumedham means a parent's body is offered into the fire after their passing. It's also a yajna. It's called a havan, a sacred ritual that is performed after the death. In Hindus, they do the fire rituals every day. They have to do trikagnis, that is, they have to do three fire rituals: morning, afternoon, and in the evening. Whenever the time is changing, they have to do the fire ritual. So, when they start a new household, they start the fire ritual, and then they do this fire ritual three times a day until the end of their life. The end of the life, the fire ritual, the fire from that fire ritual is brought to the cremation ground. In the same fire, the body is offered. Because for Hindus, fire is the immediate, available, visible God every day, all day, because we cook, we drive our cars, the fire burning our fuel, we do everything with the fire only. Without fire, we cannot survive even for 1 second. Therefore, Agni Devata is the fire god is considered to be the greatest god. Including the fire in the sun makes light and heat for us. The metabolic heat in the body makes us function. The acid in the stomach makes us digest food. The fire in the stove makes us eat the food. So fire is constantly bringing a change. Whenever a change occurs, a sacrifice happens. Something old is given up so that something new can come up. Something lower is gone, something higher is coming up. The gas is gone in the gas tank, and you're moving the car ahead so that you can travel wherever we want. In this way, fire is constantly transforming with the sacrifice. When the change occurs, we always feel the life. The time when the change occurs is past, present, and future. So we feel the time passing. That's when you feel you're alive. Therefore, fire is a symbol of life itself and transformation and growth, evolution to the higher state. So that's always happening because of the fire. That is the reason fire is worshipped all the time, including after the death. So at this point, the fire ritual that is performed, the Antyeshti fire ritual, the Naramedham, is performed by Atishji himself because we believe that children are extension of the parents. That means when somebody passes away, the children are still living. So the children are simply like the roots of the banyan tree. Banyan tree throws roots, and then each root becomes a new tree. In this way, the children are living, the grandchildren are living, great grandchildren are living, great great grandchildren are living, and forever he is living in them. So the Brahma Sukta says that if you have children and grandchildren and they keep on going like that, you are living forever. So the two elements, the soul and the body, both become immortal when you are having children. Soul is already immortal. The body is also immortal because it's keeping on multiplying itself. Before it one state is gone, it produces another state. In that way, it's living forever. So even though the fire ritual is performed by the children, it is himself who is doing this fire ritual, and therefore he is evolving. In this process, this is like a rocket fire which pushes him out of the gravity of this world, and the attraction to this world is dissolved, and the body itself is dissolved into the nature. Five elements are gone back to the five elements in the nature. In that way, he is free of attachment, and then he will evolve into higher being in a different world. So we believe that the children are coming through the father first. Father becomes the antenna to attract the souls in the particular surroundings where the soul want to be born. So the soul enters the father, then it enters the mother, then it enters the world. In this way, the father has given birth to children, and therefore first birth is by father, second birth is by the mother, of course third birth is by the guru, fourth birth is by the god. In this way we have four births in our life cycles. So all this, because he has given us birth, we're indebted to him to do this ritual so that he will have ascension to the Pitrulokas. Pitrulokas are part of our Gayatri mantra. Om Bhur Bhuva. When you say Bhuva, that's a Pitruloka. That's where he will be ascending, or he might even go to Suvaha, Swargaloka, higher, it's much higher plane, heavenly abode, where gods and devatas will reside, because he's a very punyatma. I can say he's a punyatma and even Mahatma because how he has lived his life is exemplary. So most for this kind of souls, mostly we don't need to really worry about any rituals because they right away ascend to the higher worlds. But still, children doing the ritual makes them thank the Father, and that's why they are blessed. So that is the reason we do this Antyashti. I just want to say one word or one sloka from Bhagavad Gita, which really reflects what Atish ji has lived all his life. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaro samadukka shami santushta satatam yogi yatatma dhranischayah maya arpita manobuddhiryoho madbhakta same priyaha. So he's always adveshta sarvabhutanam. He never have any hatred toward anybody, always loving everybody and constantly serving, because I know that personally. Anytime he worked until 92 years, because even at 92 we are all organizing the temple puja book. Every day he used to come for the meeting, and anytime I cannot work, even if it is minus 40, I call him. He will really come, and slippery also he'll come. Whatever it is, he'll come and help me. So I remember all those days. And then he's the one who interviewed me when I came 18 years back to this country. Therefore, I was always in touch with him, and I feel he is a Mahatma and a great Atma, great soul. So he will be definitely going to very high abode, even according to Bhagavad Gita. I wish him, his soul, a peaceful journey to higher world. I'll say one last sloka. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavatishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So my Chandra Mosi will come sing a bhajan now.
Sitaram, everyone. Dad, I have a lot of memories of Atish Dad. My favorite is one that I will continue to hold in my heart is that a few weeks ago, probably 2 weeks ago, I went to the hospital to visit him. And I'm sitting there singing very quietly, softly, because he was asleep. At least I thought he was. And then I heard him singing together with me. Very, very treasured moment. The song at that time that I sang was Bolaram, which we will sing later. The song I'm about to sing for you today is Raghupati Raghava Rajaram. It is one I know many of you do know that song, so please join me in chorus, or if you know the verses, join together and sing with me. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavan Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram. Sitaram Jai Sitaram. भज मन प्यारे सीताराम. सीताराम जय सीताराम. भज मन प्यारे सीताराम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. राम भजन से मन सुख पावे, तन का पाप सकल गुण गावे. राम भजन से मन सुख पावे, तन का पाप सकल गुण गावे. बन जाए सब बिगड़ी काम. जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. जय रघुनंदन जय घनश्याम.
अवर बिहारी राधे श्याम, जय रघुनंदन जय घनश्याम, अवध बिहारी राधे श्याम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, राम राम राजा राम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम, राम राम राजा राम, अवध बिहारी राधे श्याम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, ईश्वर ब्रह्मा तेरो नाम, सबको सम्मति दे भगवान, ईश्वर ब्रह्मा तेरो नाम, सबको सम्मति दे भगवान, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। जय श्री राम।
We're going to have Auntie Meena Patel sing a bhajan as well, please.
जय श्री कृष्ण। हारे वाला अर्जी हमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी, लई जाजे तारा धाम मां। हारे वाला अर्जी हमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी, लई जाजे तारा धाम मां। हारे मारा अंत समय ना बेली, हारे हवे મૂકો નહીં હડસેલી, હારે હું તો આવી ઊભો તમ દ્વારે શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં। હારે વાલા અરજી અમારી સુણો શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં। हारे नाथ करुणा तणाव छो सिंधु, हारे हूँ तो याचू छू एक ज बिंदु, हारे एक बिंदु मां नहीं थाई ओछो श्रीनाथ जी, लई जाजे तारा धाम मां। हारे वाला अर्जी अमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी, लई जाजे तारा धाम मां। हारे मारू अंतर लेजो वाची, हारे नथी मेहंदी मालाली लखाती, हारे पाने पाने ते प्रसरी जाती श्रीनाथ जी, लई जाजे तारा धाम मां। हारे वाला अर्जी हमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी, लई जाजे तारा धाम मां। हारे तने समझू ने सु समझाऊं, हारे के तो अंतर खोली ने बताऊं, हारे तारा भक्त ने एक ज आशा श्रीनाथ जी, लई जाजे तारा धाम मां। हारे वाला अर्जी हमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी, लई जाजे तारा धाम मां।
Please join us to chant Shri Krishna Sharanam Mamaha for 108 times. Before we do that, we'll have a moment of silence to focus ourselves and our thoughts. Can you follow me? Shri Krishna Sharanam Amaha. 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 Shri Krishna Sharanam Amaha.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Thank you everyone for coming in today to honor Atish Bapa. He would be very pleased that you are all here. There will be a Shantipat tonight at St. Anne's Mandir at 999 St. Anne's Road at 7 p.m. We hope you can all be there. The Shantipat is to help the soul go in peace after a funeral. We will now start having our visitation. Before we get into our visitation, please refrain from hugging the family. The family is now ready.
So we can start, people can start coming from the back forward.
I would like to. No, you're saying the legend.
I'm singing.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
Kesavaya Swaha, Narayana Swaha, Madhava Swaha, Govindaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, Avalika Pavitruva, Sarvavastana Duruva, Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sabhakya. You can actually take flowers and this nuts here, take out the curry, take those one nut and one flower, and then one chant the mantras. So what we are doing is we are doing a sankalpa. Sankalpa is taking a pledge or a promise that we are doing this ritual very, very sincerely and with all our devotion and with faith, and we want the desired result to come with this final rites. So you are saying that your soul of your father should ascend to the higher world. So this your final rites you're performing. So we state our name and you say this is me who's taking this pledge. Just like when we do the notary, we just take our name and then we make the pledge. Same thing, it's called sankalpa in Sanskrit. We do this since thousands for thousands of years. Same thing what we nowadays do. So so we'll say our name and the last name or gotra. एवं गुणा विशेषणा विशिष्टायाम सुभतिधौ श्रीमान can tell your name जयीश मनियर नामधेयस्य गोत्र Shal- Shalyan Gotra is a Gotra, we say it is the first ancestor in our generation. That is, who is the first famous or popular, powerful ancestor. That's thousands of years back. Thousands of years back, he has lived. That person's name we take it. Shalya Gotrasya Dharma Patni Sametasya, and your name? Ta- Tara Manya Namadevati. Shalya Gotravati, and who is him? Rajesh Manya Namadevasya Shalya Gotrasya Rani Rai Namadevasya. Then you say Mama. That means mine or ours, mine. Pituhu, father, and his name, and his Gotra Shalya Gotrasya Antyeshti Karma, Antyeshti Karma Aham Karishe. Offer those Rudraksha and everything on his heart, everything on his heart. Hold some flowers again. This time we are going to invoke the blessings of all the gods to facilitate this ritual to be performed very peacefully and attain the goal of this prayers. Again, hold some flowers. I'll pray to all the gods, different divinities. We have different gods and goddesses in Hinduism, but they are all different emanations or rays of light coming from the sun. Like that, all these are gods and goddesses from the Supreme Being. So we'll say their names now. Sri Lakshmi Narayana Namaha, Uma Maheshwarabhyam Namaha, Vani Hiranyagarbhabhyam Namaha, Shachi Purandarabhyam Namaha, Arundhati Vasishtabhyam Namaha, Sri Sitaramabhyam Namaha, मैत्रेयी कात्यायनी सहित याज्ञवल्क्याभ्याम नमः रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा राधा समेत श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री आंजनेयाय नमः सकल दिग्देवताभ्याम नमः सकल भूदेवताभ्याम नमः राष्ट्रदेवताभ्याम नमः ग्रामदेवताभ्याम नमः गृहदेवताभ्याम नमः आदित्यादि नवग्रह देवताभ्याम नमः आदित्याय च सोमाय मंगलाय बुधाय च गुरु शुक्र शनिभ्यश्च राहवे केतवे नमः. So we invoke the blessings of Winnipeg, Manitoba, the country, the directions, the lands, various lands, and all the divinities and all this and all the great saints, and also we invoke the blessings of all the cosmic forces in the form of 9 planets to bless this ritual. So after doing that, we offer those flowers, saying that they are all blessing us for this occasion. Offer those flowers. Again, we'll take some flowers. We are going to now worship Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, we just see him as 4 arms and blue color, but in reality, he's a cosmic soul. Cosmic soul means it's a cosmic consciousness, infinite ocean of life. So we believe the life springs up from that as a drop comes out and again merges back. So we ask Lord Vishnu to accept him into him back and then again re-emerge him if you want to. So we're going to pray to that Lord Vishnu. ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृज्ञानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं ध्याये सत्यं गुणातीतं गुणत्रयसमन्वितं लोकनाथं त्रिलोकेशं कौस्तुभाभरणं हरिं पीताम्बरं नीलवर्णं श्रीवत्सपदभूषितं गोविन्दं गोकुलानन्दं ब्रह्माद्यैरभिभूषितं श्रीमन्नारायणाय नमो नमः. Offer the flowers. So now we are going to, as we are offering into a yajna, again as I was telling, the yajna is being performed by Atishji himself, but it's being performed through the children's help. So we sanctify the body, spiritualize the body with a spiritual vibration water, which is in the form of Ganga Jal and Tulsi Jal. It's in the brass pot. So all you have to do is dip the flower petals in there and just sprinkle and leave the flower petals on him. शाल्या गोत्रस्य अतिश मन्यार प्रेतस्य मृतस्थाने शवनिमित्तस्नानं मया धीयते तवोपतिष्ठताम्. Sprinkle with the flower petals and drop the flower petals itself. It's Chandan there, right? There's Chandan there. Yeah. So we believe that Chandan is that's a brownish color. Or you can offer Bhasmam also is good. Chandan there? Okay. So Chandan, you have Chandan? They will use that one. So Chandan for the Hindus is a symbol of earth element. Earth element means solids. So the Chandan is a symbol of rubbing. We rub the Chandan, it gives out nice smell. But as you rub, it gives out nice smell. At the same time, ultimately the stick disappears. We are rubbing against a hard stone. Here, the life, the body itself is rubbing against the time itself. As the days pass, it gives out nice smell of good love to everyone by good actions. What a person does, ultimately with the time, the body also dissolves and disappears. So that's the reason we offer a lot of chandan on the body. So now you can put a tilak on him, and rest of it you can sprinkle on him. Yeah, use the thumb. Yeah. शाल्या गोत्रस्य अतिशमन्यार प्रेतस्य मृतस्थाने शवनिमित्त गंधम मया धीयते तवोपतिष्ठताम्. Other people can offer the other thing like kumkum and bhasmam also can be offered. Yeah. So if anybody want to put bhasmam on him, they can put it. The bhasmam is a holy ash, or we call it. You can offer on his forehead. The bhasmam is a final state of everything. Everything ultimately burns down to the white colored bhasma ash, which represents the final state of everything. So it's a final state of existence, and it also represents the happiness one attains by all the experiences are burnt in the crucible of the furnace of soul, and it brings out happiness. That happiness is represented by this bhasma. So you're going to bhasman pratishtha भस्मान् धारयामि भस्मं मया धीयते तवोपतिष्ठताम्. Rest of it all sprinkle so that nothing will take it back home. Sprinkle flowers around his neck like a garland. Already there's one garland on the photo, but we can use the garland. If you're not going to use that garland on the photo, can be offered on him too. But if you want to leave it there, you can leave it. Okay, then leave it. Then offer just petals around his neck. पुष्पमालां मया धीयते तवोपतिष्ठताम्. No, no, let the garland be there. It's okay. This is another garland. Already offered? Good, 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 good. Oh, very good, no problem. So we're just going to offer five pindas, the rice balls, and they are going to be on the four corners of the casket. So the four are going to be the four mantras. The fifth one is going to be in his right hand. Let me chant the mantra, then you're going to do it. The four pindas are actually in ancient times they carried the body on their shoulders, and they used to stop at five places. And at each place they put the pinda and break it and throw it in four directions, saying your body is being dispersed back into the nature. So they carried five times they stopped because the five elements are step by step merging in the nature. So now we're going to put the pindas one by one, and you're going to put on the corners, four corners. Yeah. शाल्या गोत्रस्य अतिशमन्यार वेदस्य द्वारदेशे पान्धनिमित्त एष ते पिण्ड मया धीयते तवोपति वन कार्नर पिण्ड मया धीयते तवोपतिष्ठताम्. Next one. शाल्या गोत्रस्य मनियार प्रेतस्य चत्वारे खेचर निमित्त एष ते पिण्ड मयो धीयते तवोपतिष्ठताम्. Put the second one. Third one now. Okay, let me put the third one. But just wait. शाल्या गोत्रस्य मनियार प्रेतस्य मतीश मनियार जी प्रेतस्य विश्वांत भूतनाम्ना निमित्त एषते पिंड मया धीयते तवोपतिष्ठिताम्. How many now done? Three. Fourth one is already done. This is the fourth one. Okay, this is the fourth. Three is finished. Okay, now we'll put the fourth one. Okay. शाल्या गोत्रस्य अतिश्मन्य प्रेतस्य मृतिस्थाने शव निमित्त एष पिंड मया धीयते तवोपतिष्ठताम्. Put the fourth one now. The fifth one you're going to put near the hand because the fifth one is not dispersed. Kalyan. Now the fifth one is going to be near his hand, right hand, because this is going to go with him. All the good karmas he has done are going to follow him. So, Shalyan Gotrasya Adish Maniar Vedasya Shavahasya Sadhaka Nimitta Eshate Pindo Mayam Dhiyate Tavopatishtatam. Offer the fifth one in his hand. Just offer little bit rice near his throat as an offering of food for him final time. We had a little bit of a battery there. Battery there. So the lamp is there. We're going to say, this lamp is our prayers and our love. It's going to light your path as you walk in the path, because it will be sadness for him also to leave all the people here. So we're going to light his path by our love and prayers. So we're going to go around the body with that one. यमद्वारे महाघोरे अंधेन तमसावृते तत्रावलोकनार्थाय दीपो यमोपतिष्ठिताम्. Three times. I put it back where you took the lamp from. So you actually have to do the havan also. Before that, we are going to do havan now. So there is samagri there and some sticks here. I'm going to start chant mantras, swaha, and you have a camphor there, right? Yes. Yeah, it should be there. So just hold one. We need one block outside. One block in one of the here. So we're going to no, just put one block of camphor. One block we need it for the last. So put that block of camphor on the heart. Om Bhur. No, Diya in the last will use. Just one piece of camphor. Om Bhur Bhuvassuvaha Agnim Pratisthapya. Om Bhur Bhuvassuvaromiti Agnim Pratisthapya. Now I'm going to say some mantras which are for the ahutis. So offer like this, with these fingers. The samagri, the til, and rice can all be offered. And the sticks are also there in that box. And just leave the agarbatis for the last. All the sticks are going to go. Om, everybody can offer. Lomabhya swaha, tvache swaha, lohitaya swaha, medobhya swaha, मांसेभ्यः स्वाहा स्तनुभ्यः स्वाहा अस्तिभ्यः स्वाहा मज्जाभ्यः स्वाहा रेतसे स्वाहा पायवे स्वाहा आयासाय स्वाहा प्रायासाय स्वाहा संययाय स्वाहा वियसाय स्वाहा उद्याय स्वाहा शुचे स्वाहा शोचते स्वाहा शोचमानाय स्वाहा शोकाय स्वाहा तपसे स्वाहा तप्यते स्वाहा तप्तमानाय स्वाहा तप्ताय स्वाहा धर्माय स्वाहा निष्कृत्ये स्वाहा प्रायश्चित्यै स्वाहा भेषजाय स्वाहा यमाय स्वाहा अंतकाय स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा ब्रह्महत्यायै स्वाहा विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यः स्वाहा ध्यावा पृथिवीभ्यां स्वाहा प्रेतवाहाय स्वाहा प्रेतसंख्याय स्वाहा प्रेतपाय स्वाहा प्रेतभूमिपाय स्वाहा Pretahantryai Swaha. Now there is a little bit of ghee there. Offer the ghee. We need a plastic spoon, I think. You can use the spoon in the water for the time being. Om Chittim Cha Swaha. Chittaya idam nama om chittischa swaha chitya idam namama om akutim cha swaha akutaye idam namama om vijñatam cha swaha vijñataye idam namama om manascha swaha manasa idam namama om shakwaryascha swaha shakwarya idam namama om darsascha swaha darshaya idam namama ओम रधंतरंच स्वाहा रधंतराये इदम न मम ओम भू स्वाहा अग्नय इदम न मम ओम भुव स्वाहा वायव इदम न मम ओम सुव स्वाहा सूर्याय इदम न मम ओम भूर्भुव सुव स्वाहा प्रजापतये इदम न मम. Okay, now put the ghee down and now put all the fruits and the nariyal one. Purnahati will do one in 1 second. Purnahati. Before that, do the nariyals and the fruits. 4 corners. Coconuts. Yeah, coconuts. Yeah. Sarvam vai purna. One in the bottom, one in the top, one in the bottom. Yeah. Put near the. No, near the head. Om Sarvam vai Purnagvam Swaha. One towards the down. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam, fruits on all corners. On the corners. Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Now all the material, whatever is there in the plate and in the box, there's some material in the box, in that cardboard box, Taraji, in that cardboard box, anyway, except the incense sticks, put it outside. Just put the incense sticks outside. Anything in that box, put it in the plate, all in the plate. And everybody hold the plate and pour it all around in the corners. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. And the ghee is there, leftover one, is poured in his heart, just like this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All of it. So we're going to put that clothing like that shawls. You said one is from Dwarka. So put on his first that one. If you want to put the other one also, you can put the other one too. You can offer that one too. Yeah. Yeah, first is Dwarka one. No?
That's the reason I wanted it off.
So only that one or this one is not going? Okay, then use that one. We'll spread on him. Flowers, 1 second. Okay. So if anybody here did not offer flowers, they can offer. Offer everything inside. This one in the pot. कृत्वाशु दुष्कृतां कर्म जानता वाप्य जानता मृत्युकालवशं प्राप्य नरं पञ्चतत्त्वमागतः धर्माधर्म समायुक्तं लोभमोह समावृतः देहेयं सर्वगात्राणि दिव्यान् लोकान् स गच्छतु. It will be taken out. Syringe is going to show.
Sham bolo, Ram Ram Ram. Shubha aur Sham bolo, Ram Ram Ram. Ram bolo, Ram bolo, Ram bolo, 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 Ram
I'm just going to say one mantra and then you can sing. Everybody will say this mantra. It's a blessing mantra. So everybody say with me. Okay, it's simple mantra. Say and put namaskar and ask, seek the blessings of the gods. Om Anadi Nidhano Devaha Shankha Chakra Gada Dharaha Akshaya Pundarikakshaha Preta Moksha Prado Bhava Krishna Krishna Krupalo Twama Gatinam Gatirbhava Samsararnava Magnanam Prasida Purushottama Om Tat Sat. Let's say his name, Atish Maniar. Atma Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Pretatma Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Pretatma Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Pretatma Shanti. Okay, now one last thing. Just take this camphor, put on his heart, and then just take this incense. It's a torch. It's not incense, it's torch. Imagine a torch. And then we're just going to go around, and the fire is always lit at the head side. You would head it at it, and then put it inside. Just going to do the last mantra for it. कृत्वाशु दुष्कृतां कर्म जानता वाप्य जानता मृत्युकालवशं प्राप्य नरं पञ्चतत्त्वमागतः धर्माधर्मसमायुक्तं लोभमोहसमावृतः देहेयं सर्वगात्राणि दिव्यान् लोकान् स गच्छतु. In reality, this is the final step, but here we have a different way to go there. But yeah, so we want to go there now. That put that one inside there. The fire, that fire camphor is also put inside. Now, just going to do this. This step is before everything, but we are doing now. So four people who are related to them, they are going to carry him in reality. So we can carry. So when this closed, it's going to slightly move a half inch as a symbol of that one. Okay. So when it's closed, four corners, four people, just try it. Yeah. These ones I have to do at the end there. So bring this. That's all, yeah. Om Prehi Prehi Padabihi Puryarnete Nete Purvai Pitara Pareta Ubha Rajano Swadhayamadanto Yamam Pasyasi Varnam Cha Devam. Once it is slightly moved, we can let them move it.
राम नाम सत्य है, 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 राम नाम